Hello everybody, how are you and your body doing today? I wanted to talk today about ESSE. ESSE is an acronym for Energetic Synthesis of Structural Embodiment. And it is a beautiful form of energetic bodywork that I do, and I also teach introductory classes that melts the body. It's such a cool, to me, it's like a really beautiful addition to the bowspring work that I do, the movement work. And because it actually just gives the tissue in our bodies a different possibility and a different reality. One of the things that ESSE is, it acknowledges, and it actually kind of like brings out in our bodies when we play with the energy of it, when we receive it, is that our bodies are they're not fixed, they're not solid, they're not locked in place. They're very malleable, they're very changeable. Our tissue and the energetics of our body are very connected, and the energetics of our mind and our being, they're very connected. And our bodies are creating themselves every day. We are creating our bodies every day. And we create our bodies largely based on judgment, actually, and we don't even realize that we're doing it. And judgment can look it can be, in the form of like the judgments that, we have about our bodies, like the negative judgments that you might think of when you think of judgments about bodies, like I'm fat, I'm small, I'm whatever, how bodies look and function. But there's also the judgments around like what we've decided, like how we've decided bodies work, what we've decided they're capable of, what we've decided they're not capable of. So there's all these kind of smaller judgments that we bring to our bodies that tends to create solidity in our tissue that actually doesn't need to be there. If we're more in question and we're more in curiosity and we have a sense of like the malleability, the changeability of our bodies, and we relate to them in that way, there's so much change and so much possibility that's available. For example, it's a well-known fact that our bodies are, I think it's 80% water. And if that's the case, then, water is liquid. It's ultimately, one of the substances on the planet that is ultimately changeable, malleable, can take any shape, can move dynamically. So if your body is 80% water, what is it capable of? And your cells regenerate. I think it's something like every 8 years, all of the cells in our body have replaced themselves. We don't have the same cells that we did 8 years ago, and different parts of the body regenerate at a different rate. But that's just fascinating to me that 8 years ago, the cells in my body were not the same cells as I have now. They regenerate, and in that flexibility and regenerativity, even if we think we're getting old, it's like your cells are still regenerating. They're often just regenerating with so much of the imprint of what was before, the judgments of what was before, and the judgments of like that age is the thing, that we have to age and we're going to age and we don't want to age, and all these things. And so we create our bodies every day based on that, our points of view, our judgments, and the impossibility that we think bodies are. With ESSE, there's like none of that exists. That's all basically an interesting point of view, and we start to look at, well, what is possible with bodies and what are bodies capable of? And what if our bodies were actually a part of the natural world? What if they were really deeply connected to the earth, to the trees, to the soil, to everything? Like, what if our bodies were an extension of the earth? What if they were part of the universe? What is our fascia? What is our tissue? What is it and what is it not? And what is it capable of? And we bring in the hands-on work of ESSE, we bring this sense of possibility and invitation and curiosity to the tissue. The practitioner that is working, like, so when I work on a body, I'm like, hi, what are you? And what are you capable of? And what would you like to show me about you? And I'm present with it, and I bring the energies of ESSE, and really like the universe of ESSE and the possibility of that. And the body actually the tissue begins to just melt under the kind of touch that is so rare in our world, that is a touch that has no agenda, no need, no judgment. And it begins to melt the judgments that keep the limitations of our structure and our embodiment in place. That's what the ESSE energy does, is it melts the judgments that really, as Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, says, it's like the judgments are like glue that hold the limitations of our structures and our bodies in place. So we begin to melt that. And the body actually, in an ESSE session, like when I'm working on somebody, their body is showing me where to go. And I'm also bringing a sense of my own awareness, my own curiosity, and enjoyment of bodies, and a sense of real possibility that I have in regards to bodies and embodiment to the session, and our bodies get to communicate. And I'm just absolutely fascinated by this work. I love it. It's I used to, and I still do sometimes, receive Rolfing, which is it's a body work that works with the fascia, reorganizing the fascia to reorganize the structure of the body, which is like the best way to go about changing your structure, changing your posture, changing your alignment. Because our bones sit wherever they're held by our fascia. So you change the fascia, you change the orientation of the bones, which changes muscular and connective tissue and realities, and it changes pain. And there's so many incredible ways that we can get out of pain and have a different possibility, different life with our bodies when we have a like more of a open posture and a different structural reality with our bones. So ESSE is different than Rolfing in many ways, but it does work with the fascia as well, and melting the body and allowing the body to melt itself into what it knows, and a way greater possibility. And I've just been blown away at the permanent lasting change that I've seen from these sessions, both in my own body and in the bodies of my clients, and really have a sense that you can't, like with ESSE in your world, you can't really, your body just begins to be so different, and you can't really hold those limitations in place anymore. And I do love the combination of ESSE and Bowspring movement, where we get to both receive body work, and then in Bowspring we get to actually be our own body workers, so to speak, through movement, through, sculpting our own bodies, being the sculptor and the sculpture of our bodies through movement. So that's just a little glimpse into the world of ESSE. I do ESSE introductory classes all over the world. You can look on my website, heathernichols.com, and check that out. And also offer ESSE sessions, which I love to do. So those are also available on my website. And those are in-person sessions. So if we're if we're in the same place at the same time, that's a possibility. And I also bring that a lot into the private intensives that I do. And I love having a longer period of time to work with somebody in their body with these and other energies that just creates a lot of change. So have fun with your body, and I'll see you next time.